heard about what was going on like on a walking trail near my house.
There's another one over here. Guys, oh guys, look in here. Hey, what is that? There's two more.
People were talking about it, and it seemed really interesting that all of a sudden on this walking trail, people were noticing that little doors were being placed in like the hollows of trees, and little houses were being made, and it looked like fairies were inhabiting the forest, and people were being drawn to this area. So, but nobody knew who was making them and how it was happening.
Where there looks to be a small gnome community moving into Overland Park. Take a look at these tiny gnome homes. How they're being built is a mystery.
People felt like they were getting healed, and people felt like they were experiencing magic, and they were connecting with people, and I realized this is a story bigger than just finding out who's doing it.
We would go on the trail kind of as a distraction. We're like, we need to get outside, we need to get fresh air. It just felt magical.
I decided to write a note to the person or people who were making these little buildings and things in the forest, and so I left a note and just said, I'm a filmmaker, and I'd love to be able to tell this amazing story, and please call me. So about 10 days later, I got a call, and I answered the phone, and there was a voice, and to my surprise, it was a woman. And I was like, wow. So I met with her, and I met with her kids. They wanted to make a very thoughtful decision as to whether or not they would allow me to film them, because we'd be going out at night, and they were trying to remain anonymous. So she finally decided that it was okay.
Are you ready?
Set, go. Okay, Ty, you want to step up in front of us and light the way?
A lot of people ask me if the moment in the film when the little owl mom's family finds the door with the little owl on it, if that was something set up or if I recreated that. And that was actually the moment. We knew that there was a 3.5-year-old little girl who passed away. So I looked through the obituaries, and we found an obituary titled Little Owl. And I got their phone number, and I called, and I said, have you been on the walking trail lately? And she said, no. And I said, well, you'll probably want to go out there because there's something to see. And she said, oh, well, then we're going to go out today. And I said, well, I'd really like to film it. Can you give me an hour? Because I wanted to get a crew together. And fortunately, I was able to get a crew together and put microphones on them. Probably we were walking for about, 20 minutes before they stumbled upon the little owl door, and they were really, excited to see that.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and her name.
I know.
And what a wonderful place for you and Kyle and Evie to come to.
Little owl.
She's got a fairy house, huh?
Who would do this?
That's really neat.
It's the most beautiful act of compassion that a stranger would know the pain and think, I should do something to honor that short life.
The most difficult part, one part was just trying to determine if how it was going to end, because we had this wonderful story that was going on, and we didn't really know how it was going to end. But then the family decided to leave, and once they decided to leave, and the park said they needed to take the houses down, as sad as it was like, okay, this is our ending.
Whoever's putting these out there, what's the ultimate plan? Are they going to keep adding them? Are they going to maintain them? Are they going to fall apart? Are they going to be stolen? Some of those are in the floodplain. They're going to wash away. That's my responsibility to make sure we approve what goes into our parks.
What I wish I would have done differently is potentially help the parks guy to not look the way he looked. I don't think he looked that bad, because he was really just doing his job and taking orders. But unfortunately, he's been targeted by people in the media. The stronger your unique and exclusive access is, the stronger your film is generally. And how you get that access and how you maintain that access is through trust. I was really fortunate that the family was really trusting. Things that they didn't want in there didn't get in there, like Robin, the Noma's husband at the time, and then became ex-husband. She really didn't want much of him in it. That was one of those things where I could say, well, we don't really need him to tell the story. My advice is to just always practice, and to just do. A lot of times we get hung up on thinking that we're not going to do it right, or we don't have enough information, or we don't have the right access, and it kind of stops us. So whatever gets in your way that's stopping you, just push it aside and just say, I need to be in action mode. Because the more experience you get, and the more mistakes you make,